Hey everyone, Kevin here. As the title of the video suggests, what I'd like to do is talk about this. This is my Garmin Forerunner 935, and if you look at it here, you can see that I did my final review about it 1st of May 2017. I did some other videos about it as well. You can see I did some tutorials. This is a fantastic watch. It isn't a cheap watch. I paid around, I think it was $460 at the time. It's still retailing over $400 in the UK. It's not a cheap watch. But it is a fantastic watch. It's very, very versatile. So I'm just going to quickly talk about it in this video because I think I'm guilty of, just the same as any other YouTuber who reviews products, is that you review the product after a couple of days or after a week or so, and then you don't revisit it later on. And opinions can change after a month or after 6 months and things like that. And I noticed the other day that my review was a year ago. So I decided to do this video. So there's a lot to love about this. Before I bought this, I wasn't really wearing a watch much, so that kind of took a little bit to get used to the first few days. But after that, it's fantastic. Where's the cable? So as far as charging it, I don't want to go over the same things I said last year, but you put this charging cable in the back. Long-term battery life is something that you're never too sure about when you buy something like this, because everything's fine the first few weeks of the first month, but a year later I can't tell any kind of visible difference in battery life than what it was at the start. Battery life is fantastic. If I'm running every single day and I'm burning the GPS, then obviously I'm going to burn up the battery quicker. But if I'm not actually using the GPS and things like that, this will last a couple of weeks, I think, a week or two. It's very, very quick at charging as well. So from a battery point of view, this thing is excellent. And I jumped from the older Garmin Fenix 1. And the Garmin Fenix 1, I would go and do like a 2-hour run with my friend when I was training for the marathons a few years ago. And at the end of it, I had like 30% battery from 100%. Granted, it was a very old watch, but still, I jumped from the Garmin Fenix 1. Essentially, this is a Garmin Fenix 5. Essentially, it's got the same functionality, save from a few features, and this has got a few extra ones. Now, this isn't as good looking as the Fenix 5 as far as a watch go. The Fenix 5 it looks sturdier and all that. But I like the fact that this is light, and I use this for everything. Everything. I wear it all the time. I wear it to bed. It tracks my sleep, my heart rate. If I do strength training at the gym, if I do some weights and anything like that, I put it on. It can track swimming, it can track rowing, it can track hill walking, it can do lots of things that I really don't even need to check, but it does it anyway. So a year later, I am still very, very happy with it. I'll just kind of bring over my overhead camera just now and kind of just show you some of the features, just as a reminder what this watch can do. There we go. So you can see it here. I've actually dropped this, and I've dropped things on the glass a few times, and I haven't really noticed any major scrapes. So this thing is built to last. It really is. So you can see it tells you the time there. It's really easy to use. They've added a lot of new features since I've got it, and to be honest, I don't use them. I'll bring the camera up, so I'm not going to. Right, so you've got things like I use that menu a lot to lock it, because if you don't lock it, you occasionally hit the buttons, but always lock it. You've got things there, sync. You can connect your phone for notifications and things like that as well. I've always stayed clear of that. I just find it annoying. But this one, you can control music as well. But basically, I mainly use this screen for the locking the keys. Now you can see here, it was my heart rate. This week, that's how much I've walked. I've actually got a knee injury just now, which is why I haven't been running. No notifications. Now when you want to actually start an activity, you just push that one, start, stop, and then run. I've got as default. You can change them which one's default, but you do that. You can see I've got the ones that I use most at the top: treadmill, walk, pool, swim, strength. The pool swim is one of my favourite ones because, I used to do like 100 lengths in the pool, and, you get to like length 70 and you're like, is this 70? Is it 68? Is it 72? And because you're swimming, you're bored. Swimming is quite a boring activity after you do too many lengths, but this thing tracks it. It shows you how many lengths you've did, and when you need to turn back and things like that. It will say 2,400 and lap whatever. Yeah, it's got everything. It's got absolutely everything. And as I said, there's a lot more things there that you can add. These things I haven't added yet, but you can add those to the main screen and then move them up to the top. It's pretty crazy. Yoga, I don't know what's tracking there. But in the settings area, you can change the different watch faces and all that as well. You can actually download a lot of different things onto this as well, different watch faces. You can integrate it with a lot of different services and different apps and all that as well. I've tried a few of these things out, and yeah, they're okay, they work fine and all that, but eventually after I'll just remove them. I just kind of go back to the core functionality. But there is a huge amount of functionality on this watch, and I've touched upon this in the previous video, so I don't want to go over all that again. But yeah, I would say though that this is great. I would say though you can't talk about this without talking about the companion app. And you can see it here, Connect, Garmin Connect. Over the last few years, they have really, really improved this. I've had this app installed on my phones for years, but really, like over the last few years, they've really, really upped their game on this as far as what it tracks. Here, this is the heart rate, steps, stress, calories in, out. And you can see, what I did yesterday. Not very active yesterday. 5,000 steps. Last 7 days, 3 weight sessions. It says heart rate, steps, weight. I've not actually updated weight in a long time, so that could be way off. But there's a lot of cool things that it shows you. Like for example, when I start running, someone who's got asthma, it's good to see my VO2 max. Now that's actually been down a little bit. But it's been higher, it's been lower, but it's good that it's been a lot higher. As you can see there, I was obviously doing a lot more running at the time, so my VO2 max would have been like green blue, but my knee is in a bad way. Health stats as well, as I said, sleep. You can see how many hours sleep you're getting. I don't know how reliable that is. I kind of just quickly glance at it, if I'm honest. It's not something I check all the time. You can add calories and all that as well. This will this integrates with like MyFitnessPal and other apps like that. So if you're really into checking how much you're eating and all that, you can add it to this. Can integrate both apps together. So yeah, it's hard to fault this. It really is hard to fault it. And you can see download golf courses and all this as well. And you can download different widgets, different apps. It's fantastic. I really do love it. And the thing is, now I'm showing you this just now, but I don't actually check this app a lot. I maybe check it like once a week. Sometimes I'll check it after a run just to see what my pace and that was like. But by and large, what I love about this is that I just wear it. I just use it as a normal watch. I can use the stopwatch sometimes. I can check my heart rate if I'm training. But it's the fact that it's always on my wrist. So if I decide to go for a run, I don't have to go and put it on. I've not actually bought a heart rate monitor for this because I found that the heart rate monitor on it seems to be fairly accurate. I used a heart rate monitor with my Garmin Phoenix for years, that the one they strap across your chest. I believe that is more reliable. Same with running. I assume that if you put one of the GPS little tags in your shoes, you can buy the little things that you strap to your trainers, and it tracks your cadence, like your running cadence, and it's maybe giving you a more accurate representation of how many steps you ran or walked, etc. But I'm really happy, and I like the fact that I'm really happy with the way this is built, and the fact that everything's just built in and it just works. And that's what I like about this. After a year, the battery life is still amazing, very, very quick to charge. I wouldn't even know how long it is, but I'll put it down there and I'll do something. I'll quickly check down there and it's 100%. And that's me for another week or two. As a watch, it works great. It's not too kind of thick on the wrist or anything like that. But that's what I like about it. It just works. Once you know how the menu system and all that works, if I'm doing any activity, hill walking, running, swimming, strength training, anything like that, I just click, boom, I go, and it's tracked. Now, I'm not someone that over analyzes stats, per se, but I am someone who tries to keep fit. It doesn't always work out that way, but I try to keep fit. I go through spells when my knee's injured. Sometimes I'll do running. Sometimes I'll do when my knee's injured, sometimes I'll do swimming, or sometimes I'll do circuit classes. When my knee's okay, I'll try and do some runs that help, as I said, it helps with my breathing. I like to do running as well, and this thing tracks everything, and it gives you, although I don't overanalyze over stats and things like that, after I've done a couple of runs for a few weeks, I can check and see if my VO2 max is going up. I can check if my pace is increasing, if I'm burning more calories, all these different things. It's all there. But this isn't a cheap watch. It really isn't a cheap watch, and there are many cheap alternatives. I wouldn't rush out and spend £500 on a kind of dressy watch. But I would spend it on that. The way I kind of sold it to myself at the time is, yes, it's a lot of money. It's a bit of a splurge, but the way that I looked at it is, if I keep it for 2 years or 3 years, then £450 or whatever it was over 3 years. If you put it into a monthly basis, it's a very small price to pay for the information it gives me, for the usability, for everything. So, yeah, I loved this watch when I got it. I really did love it. After I bought it, I really did. It's not the most exciting to look at. It's just black. But obviously I can change the straps. But yeah, nothing more to say about it. 1 year later, still happy with battery life. They've added a lot more features and functionality to the watch, but I kind of use it in a very simplified way. I just keep it on myself, and when I'm doing any kind of exercise, any kind of activity, I push start, and when I'm finished, I push stop, and then it all goes to the app. It just works, and that's what I like about it. It just works. There's no crashing. I've never found any kind of bugs in the system. It just works. It's a very kind of fluid system, very polished, I guess is the word I've been looking for. I don't believe there's any. I don't think there's a successor to this out right now. I don't believe so. I don't know if we'll maybe see. No, I don't think there is. If I jump over to the Garmin website, you can see that the 935 and the 5 series still are the ones that they sell, the most expensive ones. The most, when you go down, you can get these kind of ones cheaper, but you do get less functionality. The 935 remains the best watch. It is, as they say, a premium GPS running triathlon watch with wrist-based heart rate. The Phoenix 5 has, these share 99% of the functionality. There's a few different things there that they don't have with each other. I opted for the 935 because it was lighter. And when you're training, you don't want a big heavy watch on you. So yeah, there hasn't been a successor. But if they do release one later this year or the next year, I would seriously consider selling this and buying the next one. I've been nothing but happy with this. So yeah, this has been the Garmin 935, Garmin Forerunner 935, sorry, to give its full title. And 1 year later, I am very, very happy with my purchase. It's one of the best things I've bought. I don't regret buying it. And if I keep this another year and then its value is nothing, then so be it. I've had a great run with it, and I'd certainly buy another Garmin watch in the future. So thanks for watching, guys. If you've got any questions about this watch, please do post a comment below, and please do check out my older videos about this as well. Till next time, guys, take care.